guys, it's Clancy, and today I'm going to be doing another college advice video, and this one you might look at the title and be like, what? Professors? Classes? Academics? I didn't even realize that was part of college. But yeah, you know what, guys? College is more than just, social life and stuff like that, which literally, I remember I was getting ready to go to college. I was getting all my dorm room stuff, everything like that, and then all of a sudden I was like, wow, I should probably go school supply shopping because I just realized, I'm going to be learning and I'm going to be in places called classrooms. Wow, there definitely is the whole academic part that I forgot about. Because it is easy to get wrapped up in all of the new things and people and partying and stuff like that. And I'm here to tell you, you can't get wrapped up in it. And that's kind of what this video is going to be focusing on. It's going to give you some good advice helping with academics. And you know what? The whole reason you are going to college is to get a future. And guess what? Partying, while that's all fun and games, it's not going to get you a future. But the time in the classroom and what you do when you're in your bedroom, that just sounded weird. But I mean, what you do with the academics, that's what's going to get you there. So the very first thing I want to talk about is professors. Now, this is something that I didn't really think much of when I was going to college, but let me be the first to tell you, and I certainly won't be the last, professors will make or break you. With the right professor, a class such as statistics or microeconomics can be a breeze, and with the wrong professor, a class as simple as Spanish or history can be a nightmare. So I'm telling you, ratemyprofessors.com will become your best friend, and you best be using it. If you're not, I'll beat you up, because you cannot base your classes solely off of this timing and schedule and stuff like that. Honestly, if you were to ask me, Clancy, would you rather an 8 a.m. with a great professor or a 2 p.m. with a terrible, terrible professor? Well, I might be waking up at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m., that sucks, oh my gosh. I'd pick the 8 a.m. every time, because having a bad professor, I have had two significantly terrible professors that literally just ruined my life. Not really though, but they were just very stressful. So I would tell you every time, it's throw away your, oh my gosh, I don't want to wake up or whatever. It's just all about the professors, because especially if you're the type of person who gets as stressed out as I do, it's just not worth it. It's just not at all. Because you know what? I might not want to wake up at 8 a.m. on a Wednesday because then I can't go out on Tuesdays, or, I probably still could, but then it's annoying to go out on Tuesdays. But guess what? If you have a terrible professor, you're not going to be going out on Tuesdays anyway, because you're going to be studying so hard, so much harder than you have to. So yeah, Rate My Professor will become your best friend, and you better use it. Also, if you have the option between certain classes, when I was picking a history class, I might think history of America between 1940 to present day so much more interesting than global history in the 1800s. But then when you look at the professors and see each and every class, you'll see, you know what, I'm better off with that global class, you know what I mean? And now, okay, now when you get to college, every adjustment is completely different. It depends on the school you go to, but it also more importantly depends on the school that you went to before college. I know a lot of people who went to the college I went to and they said, oh my gosh, the workload is so much more, oh my gosh, these papers, things like that. I also know people who said, oh my gosh, this is, a breeze. And it pretty much all came down to what was the high school like that the person went to before. If you went to a high school that was so easy, barely had any papers, stuff like that, college might be a huge wake-up call for you, and you might not be used to all of this, and it's going to be a huge, oh my gosh, what the heck. However, me, I feel like I went to a high school that was pretty hard, and you really had to work hard in order to get good grades, and we wrote a whole bunch of essays, and I was very used to it. So going to college, there really was no adjustment for me. Honestly, if anything, I thought it was a little bit easier. Just because I don't know, there's just something about the way it's set up that just feels easier in my mind. I have 5 classes to deal with, okay, set times. I don't know, there's something I like about it. But so you might go to college and it might be kind of a shell shock, oh my gosh, I can't handle this. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Getting a tutor is something I've never ever had in my life, and honestly, I'm just being honest, I've always thought of a tutor, that's not it's not a bad thing, but it's oh, you need a tutor, but that's not how it is, okay? So don't be embarrassed to have to get a tutor. If you are taking a hard math class or something, go and get a tutor if you need help, and do it quickly, because in college, it's just based off one semester, so half a year, not a whole year. So if you kind of do really bad in the beginning, you really need to pick yourself up quickly, because you only have X amount of days left. It's not as long to catch up, I'm pretty sure every single college offers tutoring, and definitely take advantage of it. Another thing is the library. I was never the type in high school to ever go to the library. my local library. I remember when midterms and finals would come around, everyone would go to the library and like study, and I was like, why? I'm just studying in my room. Like, why would I ever go to the library? At college though, you live in the dorms freshman year, at least most people do. Obviously there's exceptions, but and they're going to get loud, and you can't just be like, oh, you know what, guys, I'm studying, so can everyone calm down? Like, no. I'm personally the type of person, I need complete silence to study. If there's any type of noise, music playing, doors shutting continuously, like, I can't study. So I remember I went to the library the first time freshman year, and I was like, I remember the first time going there, I was like, this is so weird, studying in a library. I know, it's like, why would, like, alright, what do you want to play polo in a library? But I don't know, just the idea of studying in a library, I just was something I never did, never thought I would do. It became like my best friend, like my safe haven. Like, I would just go there and study. The library is a golden place, and take advantage of it. For me personally, I'm basically an only child. My brother doesn't live with us anymore, so my house was always so quiet. Not always. When he lived with us, it wasn't. But so I was not used to all these noises, but going to the library is like the best. And another huge tip is to make sure you get at least like 3 people's phone numbers in every single class you have. And I know you might be like, what? That's so weird. Don't like go into like your class first day of school and be like, okay, you, and you, can I have your numbers? Like, just kind of basically become friends with 3 people in the class, and then, you know, you get numbers. Because sometimes, you know, you miss things, or you don't know when things are due, you don't know how to do things, stuff like that. And if you have no one to contact, what do you do? And obviously you can contact your professor, but sometimes it's just weird, and you just can't contact your professor. It's just like, because it's like you should have been paying attention. So yeah, every semester I always make sure I have people's phone numbers in the class, because, and I'm not afraid to, I literally, especially in one of my classes last semester, I go through the whole list. I just take, because like now that I'm a sophomore, I know a lot of people in every class, and I just go down the list and I text every single person the question, but not in a group chat, because then one person answers and no one else answers, and they just assume you know. But I'm like, no, I want to hear what you all think the assignment is. Last semester I did that to 3 different people. They all told me a different thing. I was like, what? You are all ridiculous. And so, you know, the biggest tip of all, though, is just don't forget about the academics. Do not. So many people go to college and they just get so wrapped up in partying and friends and social life. Oh my gosh, academics don't matter. But you know what? You have to realize you're at college for a reason. And you know what? You're not at college to make friends. Yes, that is a huge part of college, but you're not there to do that. You were there ultimately to get a good future. And then friends and just social life is just basically a bonus. That's just a nice little bonus. For helping with I might look at, you know, history of, I don't even know, whatever, history of America's history, I might think of, no. So